Yes, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody is well. Um, we are back, and it is deadline day, as we all know. If you have not been living under a rock, you will know this. But for United, it's been a day that's, I think, got people feeling quite a few mixed emotions, to say the least. And I am feeling quite a bit of relief, but also quite a bit of frustration in reflection to Manchester United's summer transfer window, which, let's be real, is sort of a commonly reoccurring theme. Let's be real with it. And we're going to dive into basically reviewing all the signings we've made, all the sales we've made, the expenses, all of that nonsense. But before we do so, just one thing: make sure you're liking the video, subscribing if you haven't done so already. We are on the road to 100 subs. We are slowly but surely getting there. Slowly but surely, little baby steps, but we will get there, people. We will get there. Also, literally just before recording this, I was also on a previous show, a Arsenal versus Manchester United preview for this weekend, Sunday, 4:30 p.m. I will be doing, or trying to do a watch along for that game. So keep your eyes peeled for that, people. As well as a stream tomorrow as a preview, because I haven't done a preview for that game yet. And why not? Why not do a preview for that game? You'll probably have a couple of guests as well on that show. So do as what was it? Josh Kroenke said as for Arsenal, get excited, be excited, people. So yeah, looking forward to those streams 100%. But make sure that you are subscribing to Arsenal, the history and more. That's where the show was. Do be sure to go check out that stream. I was late to that because Chinese takeaway. Some things in life are just, you can't really beat a Chinese takeaway in various walks of life. It's understandable, you know, it's just one of those things. But, anyways, let's jump straight into things with the summer transfer window. A lot of people basically saying now the window is essentially done. We're not really going to push for any more acquisitions, at least not to my knowledge. Maybe there is, maybe you'll push to sign one more player. I don't know. But my gut feeling tells me that Sofian Amrabat is the last of the incomings for the summer. And speaking of Sofian Amrabat, supposedly Sky have reported that Sofian Amrabat has completed his medical. He did depart Florence earlier today. I think that was about 4 or 5 hours ago. So if he's flown over in record time and started his medical, got that done and dusted, so it's positive. It is positive. So he's already completed. So this is Fabrizio Romano from 5 hours ago, said that he completed first part of medical tests as a new Manchester United player. He's now set to fly to Manchester in order to complete a 10 million loan move, which has an obligation to buy the player, which is a clause that gets activated in, I believe they've negotiated for May. So quite early on in retrospect to the next transfer window. But then again, it's probably some foresight from the club to say, well, at least if we need to sign a player, we can sign a player nice and early, super quick. That way they can get everybody off their backs and saying, oh, you don't sign anybody early in the windows. And John Murtough can just go, that's it, screw you. I signed a player in May. But who cares? It's John Murtough. The guy should be sacked. He's probably committed about 5,000 sackable offences, as has Richard Arnold as well. So pretty much both of those guys should not be here. Shouldn't be here. But we're going to run down the acquisitions that we have made. Again, my quick summarised thoughts and feelings on those players and the sales as well. Because as much as it's important bringing in players, it's also as important selling players too. Because let's be real, we've got a lot of deadwood that we've been needing to get rid of for years, and I mean years, and they're still here. So let's go through the let's go through the signings first. I'm viewing this on transfermarket.co.uk. That's market spelt with a MARKT rather than having the E in there. But we're going to go through all of these signings here. So, starting with the most expensive, outright expensive signing, Rasmus Højlund. For 75 million euros, supposedly, age 20, former club Atalanta. A player that I've had a lot of reserve judgments for, because I don't see guarantees with this player. It's all based around potential. And I would say, look, if we've got world-class players in the squad and the striking situation is not really a problem, we're just planning for the future, I would say that's cool. That's all good. You can bring that guy in, regardless of medical situations, by the way. But the problem is because we're signing a striker to rely on, kind of makes the whole prospect of signing an injured player seem that much worse. And let's be real, it kind of is, because it's not just any sort of just a little pull muscled in some pre-season training for Atalanta. Nope, it was a potential stress spot in his back that could then go into the realms, the territories of stress fractures. Which, if you remember Marcus Rashford, when he was essentially playing with stress fractures, the guy was awful, absolutely awful, playing with an injury, never ever putting in 100%, never. And that's going to be a very, very big problem. So we want a fully fit player, not someone that's going to end up, cracking his back slightly and ending up on hospital beds for the best part of about 4 to 5 months or so. We don't want to see that, or needing any surgery to fix a problem that was caused by aggravation. We don't want to do that. So Rasmus Højlund, for me, reserved judgments. I think the situation at the club is not ripe for Rasmus Højlund to come in and prove everybody wrong, if you know what I mean. So next on this list, Mason Mount, a signing that really I did not think was anything special, and I was like, well, look, what you want to use him for, we kind of don't desperately need a player there. That DM position that we kind of need, another midfielder perhaps, and we do need to sell Maguire and replace him, but also perhaps another striker, because Anthony Martial he's not the real deal here anymore. He's very, very injury prone, as I like to call him, the French Daniel Sturridge. Guy's literally getting an injury, a brand new injury every other week. He probably does his warm-ups and twangs a muscle or something. It feels like he's at that stage. So signing an attacking midfielder didn't really sit right with me. I wasn't as it's just a lot more questions than answers with post Mount signing, and a lot of Chelsea fans were very happy to see him go. They were very happy. They were very glad to see the back of Mason Mount, because I think they knew better than anybody that the guy's not quite cut to deal or play at the highest level of football. Not to say he's a bad player or a trash player by any means, but let's look at the facts here. What we know already, what we've seen from when Mount plays for this team, he doesn't provide balance. He, in fact, actually revokes balance. Right? We go backwards. We rescind control in the midfield, where we had not got a lot anyways. So that makes this even more so of a problem. So for me, Mason Mount made absolutely no sense to me in signing him. People might think differently. People might be hopeful for him, living in hope. But the thing is that we're in a situation where I think if we're signing hope at this point, I think facts are going to slap us straight in the face, and it's going to sting. And the worst thing about it is, it's kind of like if you're in a boxing ring. It's the punch you can see coming, but you can't react to it. You can see it coming, but you can't do nothing about it. Um, Also, going on to Andre Onana, very good goalkeeper, very good goalkeeper, and a good signing for Manchester United. Very, very much so. I'm happy with that signing. Yeah, I'm glad that we have got a goalkeeper that fits the bill to what the manager wants, because that means it's less places for Ten Hag to hide if he gets found out. Um, it's closer to what his team, what he wants his teams to look like. So that's always a positive, right? Manager gets the players they want, they get closer to the finished article as to what the manager wants to play, how the manager wants to play, the players that he wants to have, the system, the individual roles, tactics, instructions, whatever it is. Having the right players that fits the bill for the manager. That's basically the thing that I back that um I back that sort of approach, right? I do, I back it. But this is the thing. Now it's sort of over to Eric Ten Hag to prove that these are players worthy of this level. It's for Ten Hag to prove that these guys can bring success to United. Now, I don't think we're winning the league title by no means. I don't think we're winning Champions League. The FA Cup's there to be won. The Carabao Cup's there to be won. We're playing Crystal Palace first, for third round of the FA Cup, and it's at home. So that should be a given that we go through to the fourth round. That should be a given. Um, no excuses there. But for me, Andre Onana, for a lot of people that were very much on David De Gea's back, I think a good shot stopper. Um, had some unbelievable years under David De Gea. Or David De Gea gave us some unbelievable years with some of his ridiculous saves. Andre Onana comes in, and I think that's sort of the level of goalkeeper you want to take over from David De Gea. Definitely the right sort of level, and I think I believe that he does fit the bill, and I'm looking forward to um, seeing that part of our team, that area of the team progress. Speaking of other goalkeepers, back up Altay Bayindir from Fenerbahce, backup goalkeeper. This obviously was in and amongst the goalkeeping dominoes that saw Henderson leave to Crystal Palace. Best of luck to him. We got Altay Bayindir on the cheap. He's 25 years of age, so he's not inexperienced by any means. He's got fair few first team years under his belt, but he's at the sort of level where it's like established backup goalkeeper, and I think he could do the job that we need him to. He's probably going to see a lot of game time this season when AFCON comes around, because Andre Onana, he's back in the, is that Cameroon? It's Cameroon, isn't it? Pretty sure it is. Yeah, so he's back in the Cameroon squad now. So he will disappear off to AFCON, and we do need another goalkeeper to be able to step into that. Also, Bayindir is here to do just that. But we're not going to have this ego issue that we have with Dean Henderson. We're not going to have that. We're not going to have unhappy people sat on the bench in the form of Dean Henderson, where it's like, I want first team football. Yeah, not going to get it here. We've got a goalkeeper that's going to, you know, essentially it sounds a lot worse than what it actually signifies, but he will know his place. Um, Also, by the time AFCON comes around, we'll also have Tom Heaton back from injury, because Tom Heaton's not really a big injury concern. He will still, yeah, he'll be back in no time at all, I believe. Johnny Evans. It's kind of like, let's say, you go to a car dealership, right? You buy yourself a Ferrari, right? Ferrari from a Ferrari's car dealership. You drive it home, and you see it parked in your garage or your driveway, and you're absolutely loving life. Honestly, phenomenal, phenomenal life you're living. Your car now needs to go in for a service, right? Car goes into the garage, dealership garage, to get serviced, get checked over. Ferrari send you a courtesy car. Hmm, what's that courtesy car, you're wondering? A Vauxhall Corsa model from 1999. That little rust bucket. They send you one of those, and you're thinking, is this Ferrari? Is this Ferrari? Am I going to open the hood of this tiny little bug car with rounded front headlights that still shine a weird sort of yellow color? I'm going to pop open this hood and see a V10, a V8, a V12, perhaps. I see any of those? Nah, nah. It sounds like it's suffering with the Rona when you switch on the ignition. It's just coughing, hacking, and heaving. And it does that thing where it feels like you're playing around with clutch inputs, and you start jolting your way forwards every time you leave off from stationary position. So Johnny Evans is essentially the courtesy car. He's a courtesy centre back. The guy was released. Essentially, he was released by Leicester City, and he came to train with us for pre-season because of centre back uncertainties. You know, any excuse to keep Harry Maguire out of the team, I guess. So Johnny Evans comes into the picture, and we're sort of like, right. So if he's training with us, that's cool. That's fine. Johnny Evans trains with us, no problems. Then we see, oh, well, Johnny Evans is going to stay with us for a fair bit of the season, right? At least until January. And I'm thinking, what? Why? Why has this happened? Fast forward to now, we've confirmed that he's signed a 1-year deal with us. And it's like what I've said with the courtesy car thing. He's not here as a plan. He's here as the stopgap. It's like the club have admitted, well, Johnny Evans wasn't a part of our plans. He's more like the cover teacher, right? Usually we'd recommend like bringing some other teachers from other departments that can work in this classroom, right? And usually the ones working at the school, they come in, cool, you got your cover teacher. This one has come from a teachers agency, like a separate governing body or teachers association, and this one is clapped, absolutely clapped. They walk in and they tell all the kids to sit the fuck down, right? Man's carrying an Uzi in his belt strap. Man's literally gonna whip that shit out. It's just like, y'all motherfuckers better sit down if you're gonna learn some shit today. It's like probably not as extreme as that, but the fact of the matter is Johnny Evans kind of garners that reaction anyway. WTF. Bold statement. Underlines. Quotation marks. Exclamation points. Everything. Light it up. Take out the Hollywood sign and stick Johnny Evans WTF in its place. There's my reaction, basically. Moving on to another kind of WTF signing. Emergency left back cover. And there's a lot of names that people could have gone with. Sergio Reguilon. Hmm. A loan deal. Loan deal. A much cheaper loan than Cucurella. A much, much cheaper loan deal than Cucurella. But is he got what this team needs? Has he got what this team needs? I don't believe he has. I don't believe that Sergio Reguilon gives Ten Hag what he absolutely wants out of a fullback. Right? I mean, perhaps a bit of technicality going forward sometimes can deliver a good cross. Sometimes, only sometimes. As far as defending goes, I think there's a fair few other names that I think do a better job at left back than Sergio Reguilon. And if there's anything that you should go by, is the fact that Tottenham Hotspur fans were very desperate to get rid of him. They're very desperate to offload him, to get him sold, get him gone. But yeah, kind of the sorry state of affairs for United, it would seem, that we have to stick around for Sergio Reguilon. I'm going to finish off on a positive note here. It's not on this list yet, just yet, but Sofyan Amrabat, a signing that I've said for a very long time is a signing we so desperately need. We so desperately need it. We so desperately need him. Please, Lord, hear my prayer. We want Sofyan Amrabat. We want that big, glistening, beautiful, bald head playing on the Old Trafford surface. And I'm not talking about Erik Ten Hag here. I'm talking about Sofyan Amrabat's glowing head. Like, please give me that looks as shiny as a very newly polished cue ball for snooker tables, you know. I want to see this guy play. I want to see him in this team. I want to see what this team does when Amrabat plays. I want to see what it does. And I'm fingers crossed that Erik Ten Hag doesn't look at Amrabat being in this team and decide, you know what? Bench. Casemiro, Mount, and Fernandes are going to start every game. But the signing that I was so desperate to have to attaining extra control to dictate tempo and pace of a game, I'm going to bench them. I'm hoping we don't see that. I'm hoping we don't see Arteta syndrome where a player comes in and you think, I know, I'm going to play this player out of position and then move someone else who should be in that position to accommodate someone else that shouldn't be playing, but I'm playing him out of position in a position that we've got some players sat on the bench that can fill instead. Do you kind of get my drift? Do you kind of get my drift? Probably not. You're probably a bit bamboozled by that. Well, I'm hoping that we don't complicate things because every fan can see it. Every fan of United can see this. Casemiro Amrabat, you get some control. Control is what we lacked. We've lacked it. Control, tempo. Tempo. How many times have we not had the control of a game and the other team, they dictate the pace, they dictate the tempo, and we're having to play counter, we're having to break, we're having to transition, all of this stuff. We want domination. Domination. Give us domination. That's what the next step for Ten Hag football is. We needed the players for domination. Have we got the players for domination? Not everybody. We haven't got everybody. We needed another midfielder. We're not getting one. We needed a box to box. Who's going to come on when Amrabat or Casemiro has to go off? Who's going to come on? Who's going to start if Amrabat's not fit? Who's going to start if Casemiro's not fit? Who's going to start when neither of them are available? Okay. Okay, so we've got problems. We've still got problems. In terms of other positions that we haven't really addressed, striker, Martial and Højlund are the strike force going into next season. Not good enough. Centre-back situations. Harry Maguire should have been sold last season. We didn't sell him last season. Right. We'll sell him this season. He was going to go. But Maguire said, you know what? I don't need to do what you tell me. I don't need to do what you guys tell me to do. I don't need to. I can just kick my feet up and I can sit right here. I'm going to whip out the sunbeds, put the suntan lotion on, and just literally just sunbathe in the middle of Carrington training ground. I don't need to do what you guys tell me to. What, do you think I'm going to go? No. No. Manchester United Football Club, right? And live by this. Manchester United Football Club and everything it's ever stood for, right, in its history, are Maguire's bitch. We're Maguire's bitch. Fact. Fact. We're Maguire's bitch. The guy is straight away, the complex of no one's bigger than this club, right? The complex of that just died. The second that Maguire turned around and said, no. It died. It absolutely died. So, sorry guys, but Harry Maguire's bigger than Manchester United. It's quite funny because some of us would have sat here and said, well, Ronaldo thinks he's bigger than Manchester United Football Club with that complex going through his head. So, yeah, getting rid of him was great. That's good. Right decision. Now Maguire's doing it. Hello? Maguire, Harry freaking Maguire is doing what Ronaldo was doing. He's acting bigger than the club, right? By your logics, by your standpoints, right? He's doing that, yeah. Maguire, the guy thinks that he is head and shoulders above everybody else. There's a reason why nobody respected him in the dressing rooms. There's a reason why no one recognized him as the captain when he had the armband. There's a reason why the guy, when United lost or had a problem or had media duties, United would send anybody else out other than Maguire. You want to hear the captain speak? Too bad, too bad. You can't hear the captain speak. It's like, it's almost WWE like, right? The top heel character, the interviewer comes to ask some questions, but then everybody else is just like, no, he will not answer your questions. It's kind of like that. It feels like that. It's felt like that the guy just runs for cover. It's like, everything that happened in this game was my fault, but you know what? You guys can go and do the interviews. Go do the media duties for me, because I just don't care. But I'm not going to talk about Maguire any longer because Maguire wasn't an incoming or an outgoing. So as much as he should have been, kind of ridiculous that. Let's go on to the sales list as the incomings acquisitions have essentially been concluded. But yes, basically outgoings, we've needed to get rid of a lot of names. A lot of names. There's still a load of players that have got to go and that have needed to have gone for ages. For I've said years. Should have gone left years ago. So, Dean Henderson, someone who we knew before the summer kicked off had to go. Now, through all of that frustration, Dean Henderson is breathing the biggest sigh of relief, and as am I. I am so relieved that this guy has finally sorted out his career and he's going to play for Crystal Palace, right? Permanent transfer. He's going there to be their first team goalkeeper, right? Big ups to Dean Henderson. Go and smash it at Palace. Not against us in the cup, though. Please, we want you to ship 4 or 5 goals. We want you being a WWE official and trying to do a 3 count every time the ball goes in. Anthony Elanga commanded a very good fee for a player that never really made it in the first team. Gone to Nottingham Forest, and I think he will. I think he will do something at Forest. Not too sure exactly what it is he will do, but I think that's probably the sort of club you would want to go to if you're in Elanga's position at your stage of your career. I mean, 21 years of age, best years ahead of you, still sort of in a development phase. So I think you'll find your ground, you'll find your feet, you'll know your place, you'll find your place in football, and I think that's just ideal. And the fact we got what's saying here about 17.5 million euros can only be a positive for Manchester United. Fred off to Fenerbahce, someone who we bought, by the way, for over £15 million. 50, yes, you heard me right, 50 million pounds from Shakhtar Donetsk, has finally left the club at age 30. He's gone to Fenerbahce for 9.74 million euros plus their add-on. So technically, it's about, I think, the whole deal in its entirety is about 11, 12 million pounds, I think it is, because there's quite a few substantial amount of add-ons included in that deal. Someone who I felt probably his time was up, and it was about time that he left. And good luck to you, Fred. Wish you well. Go and smash it in Turkey, mate. Matej Kovar went on loan last season to what was it, Sparta Prague, for a year, won their league title. So congratulations for that. But then straight back out the door, this time on a permanent deal to Bayer Leverkusen. So I think he'll be happy with that. I think Matej Kovar will be happy going to Bayer Leverkusen because he's got much more of an insight to potentially going into first team football at a higher level in a more competitive league, a higher quality league as well. So I think he'll be happy with that move. About 5 million euros for that deal. Probably some add-ons and perhaps maybe a sell-on clause. I don't know if there maybe might have been something included in that. Alex Telles, somebody that I think a lot of people don't really understand why he was at the club, came in from Porto. I think it was about, what was it, 14 million pounds? I think it was 14 million pounds for Alex Telles from Porto under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Didn't really understand that one, to be fair. But he's gone to Al Nassr in Saudi Arabia, 4.6 million euros there. Very, 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 very dirt cheap, but obviously command some higher wages, so you're probably going to expect to see that. Zidane Iqbal off to Utrecht, 1 million euros thereabouts, or about £850,000, with a significant sell-on clause, and that's basically the same story for a lot of other players that younger youth players that we have let go. Teden Mengi, I think, has signed for Luton Town. I don't know what the distinguishment on that deal is. If that was loan, transfer, permanent, I don't know. Brandon Williams went back to Ipswich on loan, so he's there for another season. David De Gea released, Axel Tuanzebe released, Phil Jones released, and that's basically it. Everybody else that has departed the club this year has been as the expiration of their loan deals, which was a bit Severe Corst and Butland. So we've got quite a few players still at this team, in this squad, that should have left this summer but have not. Scott McTominay being one of them, Maguire being another. I believe Martial is another name that should have gone this summer. And I think basically those are the very clear and obvious ones that I can think of as far as players leaving this team is concerned. Those are the most significant ones, definitely. So whether that happens anytime soon or not, I'm not sure. I hope that it happens soon, because we've got to move on to bigger and better things. and we cannot sit around here twiddling our thumbs and thinking like happy-go-lucky, like how it seems to be with quite a few United fans in this fan base, with the way and I've seen it already. Somebody saying that this window, hasn't been as bad as everybody's perhaps been making it out to have been, and I'm saying, what? What? Another Glazer apologist. Another. Um, Let me see if I can find it here. Um, yeah, okay, here it is. Here it is. Let me have a read through this. So the window hasn't been near as bad as it's been made out to be. Key weakness is addressed. We've signed one key weakness, right? And a replacement goalkeeper that was standard. Solid steps made forwards. The squad is, as a squad, it's not actually that much better from last season. It's not. It really isn't. These things take time. But that's the thing you can help. You can speed up the process. If you're more clear cut, if you're more straight to the point, if you're very frontal about achieving what you want to achieve, you don't worry about taking the scenic routes. You take the fastest and most goddamn direct route to your destination, right? And I feel like some United fans are enjoying the scenic routes. They're enjoying it every time that you have to go and stop off somewhere, or your car breaks down or something, because you've busted your tire on a pothole on a country lane, whereas everybody else that took the motorway got to their destination in hours upon hours upon hours less than you, and they stopped once to get more petrol, and that's it. We were never going to be the finished article in such a short period of time. Obviously not the perfect window, and not even close. But can we stop with the meltdowns for one day, please? You're accepting this, though. You are accepting this. Yeah? So if we didn't sign Sofyan Amrabat, if we didn't sign Reguilon, if our only acquisitions this summer were Onana, Mount, and Højlund, you're telling me that you'd say the same thing, would you? Would you? The fact that Maguire's just bitch slapped your club, right, and has disrespected every person that's served this club in the past, and everyone that's died for that shirt and the badge on that shirt, yeah? People have died for that. Don't ever forget it. People have died for that badge. People have died for this club. And some arsehole has disrespected that. Disrespected it. And he has bullied this club this summer to not leave. But you're saying, but it's okay, guys. Don't worry about it. It's not close to perfect. It's the furthest thing from not even close, guys. Apologist, Glazer, enablers. They love you. Thank you for saying that phrase. Thank you for that post. Thank you. We love you. You might want to check your emails. You might have a job offer from Manchester United Football Club. They might want to take you on because you toe the party line. You do it so well. You might want to wipe a bit of that brown stuff off of your nose though, because trust me, you might get away with it in them offices. But mate, you walk around in public, there's everybody. They're not laughing with you, mate. They're laughing at you. Yeah. Don't make yourself look like a clown, right? See this for what it absolutely is. This window has been abysmal. It has been abysmal. Players we should have sold are still here. Players we could have signed have not come. We have addressed, I will give the benefit of the doubt, we've addressed 2 key spots. But has the squad improved to a point where winning a trophy this season is a foregone conclusion? Is it? Is it that we can sit here and say, yeah, no, we're definitely going to win a trophy this season? Definitely, 100%. We've had a good enough summer. More people carry concerns about this season than they have assurances. And there's factual reason for that. Anyways, guys, I see it from some other verified accounts trying to big this up. It's honestly pathetic. It's really pathetic. Just some spineless behavior. Like, please get yourself a spine. Yeah. Stop being jelly man on the floor. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, start putting a bit of respect on yourself. Yeah. And start actually seeing it for what it actually is. Because you don't need to just have a brain that thinks. You need 2 eyes, yeah, to see what is going on. Yeah. You need 2 ears to hear what it is people are saying. Just those things, and you're fine. You should be fine. But please, 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 when things are not good enough, when they are not acceptable, please do not enable the people that at points in the season you've called them out. You called them out. Every time you say Glazers out, Glazers out, guys, Glazers out. But then you put out a statement like that, no chance. No chance you want Glazers out. No chance. Because the same people that are in charge of that transfer window are the same people that are employed by those same people that you want out. They were employed by them and have been doing an awful job since the day they took over. And it's no coincidence that they were the crew that replaced Sir Alex Ferguson and David Gill. Right? A successful boardroom. That was a successful boardroom. Replaced them with bankers, and what happens? Guess what? Footballing decisions go out the window. I'm afraid it's like that bitter pill that you've got to swallow. I'm afraid. You've got to, again, just see it for what it actually is. Don't think that it's some pretty sunshine and rainbows, because if we get slapped and destroyed by Arsenal, right, I will highlight this. And you know what? I will copy and paste this tweet absolutely everywhere if we get completely destroyed by Arsenal. I'll copy and paste it. I'll copy and paste it everywhere. And I'll say, this is okay. We've just been smashed by Arsenal, but it's okay. We're fine. Chill out, guys. It's going to take time. That 7-0 last season, don't worry about it. That 6-3 last season, don't worry about it. Brentford 4-0, don't worry about it. Spurs this season, don't worry about it. It's all part of the process, right? The process that we don't actually get to the end goal because we're too busy getting slapped in the face and smiling through all the tears saying, but this is just exactly what we signed up for, right, guys? Right. Come on now. Let's all live in the real world here. Anyways, I've gone on for way too long. Way too long. I'm going to wrap things up there, people. If you've enjoyed watching this video, make sure that you are smashing a like on this video, subscribing if you haven't done so already. If you disliked it, go ahead and then smash the dislike button. To be honest, I don't really know if people have smashed dislike buttons because my YouTube um, studio thing doesn't actually show me what the dislike ratios are. So if you fancy hitting the dislike button, go right ahead. I probably won't ever find out about it anyways, to be honest. But above all else, leave your thoughts and your feelings of this transfer window. How would you rate it? How would you rate the business done this window? Are you a Glazer apologist? Do you back them up? Are you an advocate for the failures of this board for the past decade? Or are you someone that sees it for what it is, knows where to take the positives, right? Knows where to take the positives, but knows where to call out the negatives and to find that genuine balance in that argument, right? Leave your thoughts and your feelings in the comment section below. Big ups to everybody. Thank you ever so much for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Be back tomorrow, about same time as right now. Anyways, thank you very much, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. All the best. Take care and goodbye.